Fridays at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers Cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback Podcast time. Welcome to the show. Time to talk about Clelin Ferrell and his time to shine, because it's definitely his time to shine in San Francisco. He's made the move. Chris Kacerik's brought him over. He's in the perfect system, and if he doesn't succeed here, he may not succeed anywhere. He's a reclamation project, and we've seen this from Chris Kacerik before, but Clelin Ferrell's a guy that was drafted in the top 5 picks. He's extremely talented. Just how will he fit for the San Francisco 49ers? We've discussed Drake Jackson and how he's looking to make a second-year surge. Well, that could be limited a little bit by how much Clelin Ferrell ends up playing. Ferrell, of course, has been with the Raiders since he was drafted in 2019, and he's had up and down success. His rookie season, he started 15 games and had 4.5 sacks. Very interesting to see sort of his career arc. He stopped starting games in his second season. His amount of snaps went down, and so did the production. What exactly changed? Well, I would say that maybe Clelin Ferrell fell off. But when I went and looked at another former 49ers reclamation project in Arden Key, I saw something similar. He comes on the scene his rookie year. He starts 10 games. He has good sack numbers. And then in his second year, in 2019, doesn't start games. His numbers fall off, and he ends up moving on down the road. Clelin Ferrell could be the next one of those guys. Now, when Arden Key came to San Francisco, he had 6.5 sacks in his year with the Niners. He's now 2 contracts removed from that. He goes to Jacksonville and has more success and gets another contract. Clelin Ferrell's looking to be the next one of them. Chris Kacerik basically described exactly how he goes about finding these players. So he locates these players in the draft process. He finds players that he feels fit within his system and could be dynamic and make plays within the system that he runs, the very complicated system that he runs, and he follows them. So what he does is if he sees players that fit his system and then they go elsewhere and they don't have success, he thinks about bringing them in. It's been highly successful so far. Of course, we've seen a couple of misses here and there, but the 49ers have even went out and traded for guys to bring them in. But we've seen guys like Samson Ebukam, Arden Key, Charles Omenihu have success within the 49ers system. And I think that's what the key is. It's a very good system that makes it easy for defensive linemen. They want to be able to put their hand in the ground and get upfield and be aggressive. In a lot of schemes, that's not the case. You have to go in there. You have to occupy blockers. You have to hold your ground in a certain location. You have reads that you have to make. In the 49ers situation, a lot less thinking and a lot more going. And that's why a lot of defensive linemen really like the 49ers system. You throw in the fact that if you're rushing as the 4th defensive lineman on this team, you're probably going to get a lot of single looks. Clelin Ferrell's going to get a lot of single looks when he gets his reps. Is he going to start over Drake Jackson? He's got 30 starts in his career. He's definitely more of a veteran and definitely has the experience to do so. I think also when you watch him on film, you see a guy that's very talented at setting the edge. He's good against the run. He can do that for sure on first and second down. He is a 3-down defensive end. I believe opportunity is part of the reason that his numbers went down. But like Arden Key's numbers went down and then he came to San Francisco and they went up, I think the same sort of thing can happen for Clelin Ferrell. When Chris Kacerik was discussing Ferrell's abilities, he said not only was he a guy that could play on the outside, but a guy that could play on the inside as well. Getting those Arden Key type reps seems to be the way the 49ers could go. Of course, when you do that, that means you're bringing off a guy that's very talented, either Javon Hargrave or Eric Armstead. But in some cases, that's a good move. Maybe they need a break. Maybe it's with that second unit, you put Clelin Ferrell in there with Drake Jackson on the outside. Seems to me that would be pretty formidable. And with the way he's able to anchor and play against the run, I think he can handle it. So the 49ers have a guy in Clelin Ferrell that not only has the ability to start, but has the ability to make plays when he's in there. I think that this guy's more close to what he was when he was a rookie, 4.5 sacks, than what he was at the end of this time in Las Vegas. I think Chris Kacerek knows exactly what he's going to get when he puts Ferrell and lets him go. It's not a surprise that they brought him in. I think a lot of people look at his athletic ability and don't think he's good enough to be consistently getting home against these quarterbacks. I think he is. We've seen Kerry Hyder in 2020 get 8.5 sacks playing for Chris Kacerek. Clelin Ferrell is more athletic than Kerry Hyder. Clelin Ferrell has more tools in the toolbox than Kerry Hyder. And there's no slight on Hyder. He's made a nice career out of it. And he's been playing at a high level over the last few years, especially when he plays for Chris Kacerek. But there's the key. It's Chris Kacerek. He's going to put Clelin Ferrell in the best situations to be successful. With him getting one-on-ones, he's not going to have to worry about holding his ground or, hey, I got to make sure I occupy this guy. It's going to be go get the quarterback. You have your hand in the ground, go get him. That's all the thinking Ferrell's going to have to do. With Steve Wilks bringing blitzes off the edge and being aggressive, bringing linebackers up the middle, it's going to free Ferrell up to make some plays. It's no doubt in my mind that Clelin Ferrell is going to have a good season for the 49ers. There's no doubt in my mind that he's going to either equal or surpass his total number of sacks and a career high of 4.5, which means he's going to at least equal what Samson Ebukam brought to the 49ers over the last 2 years, 4.5 sacks and then 5 sacks. That is a lot of production coming from a guy where really you don't know or shouldn't expect anything. Between him and Drake Jackson, I wouldn't be surprised to get double-digit sacks opposite of Nick Bosa. That is big-time play. But it's time for Clelin Ferrell to shine. It's time for him to come out from underneath the shadow of that draft pick where he was drafted high. No longer can he worry about that. It's not the organization that drafted you. Now it's just about pedal to the metal. Go get the quarterback. Go make the play on the running back. This is an exciting time for the San Francisco 49ers because they have, even though they have transition, they have one of the best defensive lines in the entire league. And Ferrell knows that with one good season, he could be cashing in just like Samson Ebukam, just like Charles Omenihu, and just like Arden Key. And when it comes down to it, you want success in this league. Yeah, you want to, get all the accolades and you want to win a Super Bowl. You want to get paid too. That's why these guys are playing this game so that way they can make money and change their family generationally. So he's got the perfect opportunity to do it. He just got to go do it. Does he have the skill set to make it happen? Absolutely. Is he as athletic as Samson Ebukam? No. He is as athletic and as long as Arden Key? No. Does he have the ability to be like Charles Omenihu, though, and be a workhorse and go and go and go until you get to the quarterback? Yes. Will he be better against the run than Charles Omenihu? Yes. I think he will. I think he's going to play on first and second down at a high level. And I think on third down, if he can find a way to use his nice rip move that he has and use his strength and his ability to get underneath offensive linemen, I think he's going to get home. He's got a pretty good bull rush, but I think it can be improved with some technique on other moves. Secondary pass moves weren't used very much for him in his time in Las Vegas. I think with Darryl Tapp and Chris Kacerek, they're going to teach him those moves, and those secondary moves are going to help him get home. You throw in the fact that quarterbacks run from Nick Bosa. They have to run somewhere. They're going to run into Clelin Ferrell. And yes, he's more athletic than a guy like Kerry Hyder, so he's able to get these guys to the ground. It's going to be a fun season to see what Clelin Ferrell and what Drake Jackson do. The key is they have to make a play. If Ferrell wants to keep his job and he wants to be a starting defensive end in this league, this is his year to make it happen. He doesn't show out in training camp. The 49ers have the financial ability to go out and get someone that will. He knows that. He's going to go out and he's going to perform, and really there's no reason. Greatness breeds greatness. Iron sharpens iron. He's going to be going against Trent Williams a lot. I want to see how much better he gets during training camp. I think he's going to surprise some people. I think people are kind of letting this one fly under the radar. He's more talented than what people believe. Was he talented enough to be the top 5 pick? No. Was he talented enough to go at the end of the first round? Yes, he was. And I think in that situation, he wouldn't be held to such high standards. But I think he's got an opportunity here playing for Chris Kacerek to go make plays. We do know he's good at setting the edge against the run, and he can get home, especially if there's good coverage. The 49ers have a good secondary. I'm really excited about Ferrell and what he could provide for this 49ers defense. I think this defensive line with Clelin Ferrell or Drake Jackson is going to be very talented. Could they still go out and make a move, make a splash, and bring in someone and bolster this defensive line and make their depth crazy where Ferrell and Drake Jackson are the backups? Yeah, they could. But I think if Ferrell's starting and he's getting those snaps, or if he's splitting time with Drake Jackson, I think 4.5 sacks is within reason. So I think he could be stepping out and it could be his time to shine. And next year, he could be getting the contract that he's looking for in the NFL and probably for another team. But Clelin Ferrell is going to be a big part of this 49ers team in 2023. Let me know what you think about Clelin Ferrell and whether it's time to shine. Am I wrong? He's not going to make an impact on this team. You just don't see it. I want to know in the comment section down below. Like the video. Really appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. On the push for 4K. And your subscription, even though it doesn't cost you anything, it means a lot to me. It really helps me and my channel out. So thank you so much for everything you guys have done. Thanks for watching the video. Plenty of more content coming your way. So make sure you check it out. Also, if you don't have 49ers Cutback Patreon, check it out. Predicting the 53-man roster. Offense already came out. Defense coming out as well. Go check those out if you have Patreon. But until the next time, stay safe. And remember, the right way is always the 49ers way.